Now, let's head to the Scoreboard Studios in Columbia. Here's Phil Kornbluh.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome into the high school football scoreboard across the state, Sports Talk Media Network. Great to have you with us on this Friday night, brought to you by Founders Federal. Wow, we already have a shocker tonight up in the upstate. We'll give you final scores in just a moment. David Shelton will be joining us in a little bit. We'll get reporters in from across the state as well. Looking forward to the next couple of hours, bringing it all together for you here as we wind down the high school football season in South Carolina. What a year it's been with the games, the controversies, the forfeits, the storms, the rescheduling, and all that. Hopefully, here on out, we can have some smooth sailing and get to November and have a great playoff season here once the playoffs begin in just a couple of weeks. But to the top of the scoreboard we go, where Dorman just a few moments ago knocked off Gaffney 9-7. Huge win for the Cavaliers just in terms of their self-esteem. What a terrific win that is for that program. First loss for Gaffney to hold Gaffney to 7. Of course, Gaffney's defense must have played great as well, holding Dorman to 9. Cavaliers beat Gaffney 9-7. Give you some other finals that we have in the upstate. Chester 42, Mid Carolina nothing. Louisville 52, Great Falls 7. Belton Honeypath 48, Pendleton 7. St. Joseph's 35, Palmetto 14. Finals from the Midlands thus far. Batesburg Leesville 48, Pillion nothing. South Point 58, Dreer 10. Hartsville 70, Lakewood 8. Around the PD Grand Strand finals. South Florence over Lower Richland 36-19. Loris with the 1-0 forfeit over Marlboro County. You know about that. Marlboro County this afternoon calls Loris and says, we don't have power at our stadium, don't have power for our lights, et cetera, et cetera. They could not come together on a date. This was a big region game. This had championship ramifications for that particular region. Marlboro County just said, we'll take a forfeit and move on. So Loris is the region champ as a result of this 1-0 forfeit from Marlboro County. In the Low Country, Bamberg Earhart over Allendale Fairfax 43-6. May River 66, Beaufort 14. Skeeza finals, Heathwood Hall 48, Camden Military nothing. Cathedral Academy 52, Conway Christian 8. Northside Christian 34, Florence Christian 7. Hilton Head Prep 56, Christian Academy 13. Jefferson Davis 68, Kings Academy 6. Bethesda Academy 14, PD Academy 11. Pinewood Prep 28, First Baptist nothing. It was Wardlow Academy 54, Oakbrook Prep 12, and Wilson Hall 44, Thomas Sumter nothing. Once again, the big one so far tonight, and we'll be getting a report. It was Gaffney falling to Dorman, or I should give Dorman credit. Dorman beats Gaffney on 3 field goals by Ranson Farr. I'm getting some notes here. Ranson Farr kicks 3 field goals. You think that young man will sleep well tonight? Sweet dreams. He beats Gaffney on his foot 9-7. Quite the win there for Dorman. Give you some other scores, and many of these will be in-progress games coming from ScoreStream, so I cannot verify the accuracy of these scores, but it's all we got. So we got to lean on it for right now. Jefferson Davis defeats the Kings Academy 68-6, and Greenwood Christian over Clarendon Hall 47-6. Cathedral 52, Conway Christian 8. PD 25, Bethesda 22. Northwood 28, Augusta Christian 6. In the fourth, Hammond 21, Ben Lippen 10. Hannah Pamplico beat Latta 27-22. Abbeville, big showdown in the region with Dixie. Of course, Abbeville, the power, rolls it up on the Hornets 54-14. Woodland 56, Academic Magnet 7. St. Joseph's over Palmetto 35-14. Third quarter, it's Southside Christian 7, Christ Church 4. That's the score here, 7-4. Third quarter, Belton Honeypath over Pendleton 48-7. Big one between Saluda and Strom Thurmond, top two in their region. Both ranked in the top 10, and you're getting the kind of game you would expect. 28-25, Saluda leading in the fourth quarter. Batesburg-Leesville shuts out Pelion 48-0. West Florence, in a tight one, edges out Westwood 13-8. In the fourth quarter, York and Richland Northeast are 20-20. In the fourth quarter, Spartanburg, big over Burns, 45-14. In the fourth quarter, Clover 50, Nation Ford 20. In the fourth quarter, Berkeley 23, Lucy Beckham 9. A final, Augusta Homeschool 42, Victory Christian of North Augusta 12. Man, it's tough to lose to a bunch of homeschoolers, you know what I mean? It's got to be tough. Of course, Tim Tebow was homeschooled, so take it for what it's worth. Excuse me. Hilton Head Prep 56, Christian Academy Myrtle Beach 13. That's the final. Wilson Hall beat Thomas Sumter 44-0. Northside Christian 34, Florence Christian 7. Thomas Hayward 51, Carolina Academy 6. 96 leading American Leadership Academy of Lexington 56-0 in the fourth quarter. Green Sea Floyds beat Hemingway 48-6. Fourth quarter, Carvers Bay over Johnsonville 38-14. Good one here in the fourth quarter. Williston Elko 25, Wagner Sally 24. A final, and this was a region showdown. Hunter Connor Tyler 59, Blackville Hilda 12. Louisville beats Great Falls 52-7. Newberry tops Keenan 45-20. Hanahan, a 43-8 winner over North Charleston. It was Swansea 21, Fox Creek 7. In the fourth quarter, boy, offensive shootout down along the beach. Dillon 47 and Waccamaw 39. What about that? In the fourth, make it the third, probably in the fourth. Woodruff 44, Chapman 10. Manning beat Marion 38-13. Philip Simmons over Timberland 21-7. In the third, Barnwell 34, Edisto 0. Fourth quarter, Central 27, Chesterfield 8. Sherraw beat Buford 38-14. Third quarter, Andrew Jackson 20, North Central 7. Another final, Chester over Mid Carolina 42-0. Another final, Walhalla 62, West Oak 0. In the third quarter, Liberty 28, Landrum 10. Fourth quarter, Crescent 21, Chesney 10. In the second half, Clinton leading Blacksburg 28-0. A final, Bishop England over Bluffton in a good one, 28-24. May River beat Buford 56-14. South Florence 36, Lower Richland 19. I might be repeating myself, so forgive me. So this is why I really can't trust ScoreStream, because they've got the South Point Dreer score as 51-0, but I actually saw the scoreboard for that game, and it's not 51-0. That's why I give you these scores off of ScoreStream, and I kind of hold my nose while I do it. So South Point did beat Dreer. It wasn't 51-0. It was 58-10. So whoever sent that score in kind of gave up there at some point. Anyhow, it's what we have to live with at this particular time. Let's see if there's anything else here. West Florence over Westwood, 13-8. York and Richland Northeast tied at 20 into the fourth quarter. And Clover leading Nation Ford 50-20. Maybe I gave you these scores earlier. Let's see. What else? Indian Land leading Fort Mill second half 7-6. Catawba Ridge in the fourth over Rock Hill 26-14. Lugoff Elgin in the fourth over Spring Valley 41-10. North Myrtle Beach beat St. James 52-15. Stratford leading Wando in the fourth 30-28. Somerville over West Ashley 42-14. Camden down Lancaster 27-22. All right, with that, let's jump to some quick reports here before we move on here on the high school scoreboard. Great to have you with us. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight, those calling in with reports. And let's go to Doug Holliday with the Lawrence Raiders tonight. Don't have the final, West Side and Lawrence. Lawrence taking on, well, some say maybe the best overall team in the state. Doug, how'd it go for you?
Well, Phil, I wouldn't argue that point after seeing them. 49-3 West Side. Scored on their first possession after 3 plays. Raiders took the ball, marched right down the field, had to settle for a field goal. It was 7-3, and then Shamarius Bomar returned the kickoff, 99 yards, made it 14-3, and it was just kind of playing behind the 8 ball the rest of the evening. I mean, they're as good as promised. Bomar had the 99-yard kickoff return, and he also had a reception of 49 yards for a touchdown. Sherrod Richardson, the running back, 17 carries, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cutter Woods didn't have to do much. He was 7 of 9, 211 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. And they're like I said, they're every bit of as good as advertised. And I haven't seen anything out of anybody else in 4A that I would care to put above them. So it's going to be interesting to watch these guys as it progresses on toward the playoffs. Raiders, again, this is a season with a new coach and Coach Porter. You're just looking for progress, and you can see the team's attitude growing. You can see them doing better things every week. It's just not been some great results, but we're going to finish up at Emerald next week and then back home with Fountain Inn on the 8th, and 2 games I think a little more evenly matched, and hopefully we can do some good things and end the season on a strong note and maybe get into the playoffs. I usually sit and play around with the brackets, but with this RPI and stuff, I'm not even trying this year.
Yeah, exactly. It's the RPI and everything that goes into that is as crazy as trying to figure it out from the collegiate standpoint. Real quick, Westside, like you said, did not have to lean on the quarterback Woods. They kind of showed you a complete offense, running, a little bit of passing, just a complete game on offense.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting to watch Woods. We played Eastside 3 years ago when he was a freshman, a 9th grader there. And, I mean, they couldn't block for him. We chased him all over the field that night. But when he did have a chance to set his feet and throw it, he was right on the money. And to see how he's progressed in those 3 seasons, he's a good one. And being a Carolina grad, I'm glad he's going to be wearing the garnet and black next year.
Yeah, a lot of people excited about him being there. We thank you. Good luck next week. Look forward to hearing from you then. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you, sir. Keep it on the phones. Go to Tyler Noblinger. Tyler Noblinger, right? Soft G?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, Phil?
Got you, Tyler. Got you. Great to have you with us. Voice of Crestwood. And let's see, tonight I got you with Crestwood. And tell me who you guys were playing. I'm trying to locate you here on my sheet. Who'd you have?
Ed Darlington, Phil. Crestwood, Ed Darlington. Had a nice bye week off, went out to Oklahoma and didn't see much of a game there. It's the Gamecocks won. But, boy, the Crestwood Knights, they had a really tough battle. They scored on the first 2 possessions, Phil, and it looked like it was going to be, Crestwood going to run the scoreboard up there at 14-0 in the first quarter. And then Darlington marches right down the field. They score a touchdown. They go for 2, and it's 14-8. So Crestwood gets back on offense, and Jadis Williams throws a pick to Nigel McFadden, a pick 6, and it's tied up 14-all. And Darlington they go for 2, they miss it, so it's 14-14. And Crestwood, they got a pick right before halftime, and Jalen Martin returned it about to the 30-yard line of Darlington, but Crestwood ran out of time, and they kicked a long field goal and missed it. So that was the half. Second half, third quarter, it was a slugfest. A lot of defense, not moving the football well at all. Both sides couldn't get anything going. Fourth quarter, pretty much the same thing. couldn't move the football. Either side is really defensive slugfest. So Crestwood had all their opportunities, so did Darlington. Darlington has the football, 29 seconds left. They throw a pick to Jalen Martin, and he returns it, Phil, all the way for a pick six. He picked it off on their zone 40-yard line, returned it all the way for a pick six touchdown with 29 seconds left, put the Knights up, and the Knights are up, thinking everything's going to be okay. And then Nigel McFadden returns the kickoff about 20 yards to get it in plus territory. And that's where Darlington had their chances. They had a man wide up in the end zone, and Augustus overthrew him, and that was your ball game. So incredible game down in Darlington.
Wow.
Big region win for Crestwood.
Wow. Did you have a good call on that pick six? You have a little something fancy to say?
Oh, I was fired up, Phil. I don't think I've been fired up that much all season, man. It was quite a ball game. I was cheering on Jalen Martin up, and he got a pick towards the end of the ball game too, Phil. So to end the game, he picked off and ran it out of bounds. So he got 3 picks on the night.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So, young freshman. Yes, sir.
Give us his name again.
Yep. Jalen Martin, young freshman, number 4.
And he had 3 picks on
sir.
the night, huh?
Yes, sir. 1 before halftime, 1 pick six, and then 1 in the ball game. 1 in the ball game there to end the game.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think he might be the defensive player of the week for somebody.
Yeah, and he scored a touchdown, a 37-yard touchdown run in the first quarter.
Oh, my gosh.
He's
What
do
a
it all.
game.
Do it all, guy. Yeah, yes.
Tyler, we thank you
So
much.
got Lakewood this week.
You got
Yes, sir. Thank
Lakewood
you, Phil.
next week. Thank you. Thank you very much. What a game. What a game. Crestwood 21 and Darlington 14. Thank you, Tyler Novinger, for that report on that game. World Series, they're in the bottom of the 7th. Stanton with a 2-run homer has the Yankees up 2-1, but the Dodgers have a runner on second, and they also have a runner on first, and they have nobody out. And Clay Holmes is in for the Yankees, creating this issue. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Some insurance carriers are based in another state or only have an online presence. Not at Farm Bureau Insurance. They're a local South Carolina company that believes commitment comes with a handshake. Become part of the Farm Bureau Insurance family today by calling Buddy Bridges at 864-984-0413 by the Upstate office, 726 East Main Street in Lawrence.
Set your youth up for a lifetime of financial success with Smart Start from Founders Federal Credit Union. Smart Start products and educational resources help teach kids and teens the basics of saving, budgeting, and smart spending. Help them learn smart money skills to jumpstart their financial journey with Smart Start savings, debit, certificates, and educational resources. Learn more at foundersfcu.com/smartstart. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
In Columbia, South Carolina, game days are our specialty. Whether you're watching the game from inside the stadium or from the big screen at your favorite local spot, the energy remains the same. Craft the perfect fall Saturday in a city where there is plenty of action on and off the field. From tubing and kayaking to Soda City to rooftop restaurants and plenty barbecue. We're ready when you are. Plan your weekend at experiencecolumbiasc.com.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at sccattle.org. Beef. It's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff program.
Okay, we're back on the high school scoreboard. Brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Take you back through the final scores now. that we have in. Boiling Springs 41, Riverside 6, Chester 42, Mid Carolina nothing. Christchurch 11, Southside Christian 7. This was the game that was 7-4, right? Yes. Would they have a touchdown and 2 safeties? Christchurch 11, because it was 7-4. The only way to get 4 points is 2 safeties, right? Dorman over Gaffney 9-7. Easley and Greenwood, they're going to play tomorrow at 7. Indian Land over Fort Mill 20-6. Camden 27, Lancaster 22. Westside 49, Lawrence 3. Louisville 52, Great Falls 7. Clover 53, Nation Ford 20. Belton Honeypath 48, Pendleton 7. St. Joseph's 35, Palmetto 14. Midlands, more finals. Gilbert Airport, they'll play tomorrow. Batesburg Leesville, boy, they're good. 48-0 over Pillion. I mean, they've given up almost no points this season, the Panthers. South Point 58, Dreer 10. Swansea 21, Fox Creek 7. Aiken and Gray Collegiate, they'll play on Saturday. It was Hartsville 70, Lakewood 8. Newberry 45, Keenan 20. Brooklyn, Casey, and North Augusta, they'll play on Saturday. Richland Northeast, which had been struggling here a little bit because their quarterback was out. Now, I'm assuming he's back. Talking about Will Wilson, Shrine Bowler, Mr. Football finalist. Richland Northeast defeats York in a good one, 23-20. Lugoff Elgin 41, Spring Valley 10. West Florence 13, Westwood 8. PD Grand Strand, you just heard the story. Crestwood beating Darlington 21-14, basically almost on a walk-off pick 6. Not quite. Darlington still had a chance at the end with the football. But a pick 6 with 29 seconds to go provided the winning points. Manning 38, Marion 13. Carolina Forest beats Myrtle Beach. Wow, 52-38. South Florence 36, Lower Richland 19. North Myrtle Beach 52, St. James 15. And Dillon has beaten Waccamaw in a shootout 47-39. The big story in the PD area, Grand Strand PD, was the 1-0 Loris forfeit win over Marlboro County. Marlboro County was to host that game, notified Loris mid-afternoon that they did not have power, and they did not reschedule the game. And according to Loris, Marlboro County said, we'll just forfeit the game, and that hands the region championship to Loris. Green Sea Floyd's 48, Hemingway 6. Did you just post that one? Is that a new one? Green Sea Floyd's 48 and Hemingway 6. I should mention that J.P. Barry is working the show tonight. Great to have him back with us in all his hairy glory. Have you had a haircut since you went to college? Is that the original look that you came from Spartan High with? Got to hit your on.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Audio should be up. I've had haircuts since I enrolled in college, yes, but since I came down for this semester, no. I had one right before state mandated by Maria Berry. But I just haven't been around the way enough.
Mom mandated, huh? Bamberg Earhart 43, Allendale Fairfax 6. And Bishop England beat Bluffton 28-24. May River 56, Beaufort 14. Hanahan 43, North Charleston 8. And Skeeza Finals. Heathwood Hall 48, Camden Military nothing. Cathedral Academy 52, Conway Christian 8. Northside Christian 34, Florence Christian 7. Hilton Head Prep 56, Christian Academy 13. Jeff Davis 68, Kings Academy 6. Bethesda Academy 14, PD Academy 11, Pinewood Prep 28, First Baptist nothing, Wardlaw Academy 54, Oak Brook Prep 12, and Wilson Hall 44, Tom Sumter nothing. And we'll be back. High School Scoreboard.
Hi, I'm Tazima. Join me every Saturday at 11 a.m. for Small Business Saturday. We'll celebrate business owners in our community while learning their stories of success and failure. It's Small Business Saturday right here at 100.7 The Point.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-380-4452. 800-380-4452. That's 800-380-4452.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
By the way, before we do what's supposed to happen here, thank you for pushing the button. I thank you. Programming thanks you. America thanks you. The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Ron Taylor. Israel has launched airstrikes targeting what it described as military targets in Iran in retaliation for a ballistic missile assault October 1st. There was no immediate information on damage in the Islamic Republic. Former President Donald Trump visited Texas for his first public campaign event in the state since receiving the Republican nomination. He held a news conference in Austin to talk about border security and sat down with the most listened to podcaster in the country, Joe Rogan. A food poisoning outbreak tied to McDonald's Quarter Pounders has expanded with at least 75 people sickened in 13 states. The Centers for Disease Control Friday that at least 22 people have been hospitalized. One person in Colorado has died. No source of the E. coli outbreak has been identified, but officials are focused on raw onions used on the burgers. The former longtime CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch has pleaded not guilty to federal sex trafficking and interstate prostitution charges. Michael Jeffries declined to comment earlier today. This is SRN News.
This is Ian with AccuClean. Regular carpet, rug, and upholstery cleaning isn't just about keeping them looking beautiful and smelling fresh. It can also help to extend their life, which in turn saves money in the long run. Check out AccuClean today for our other services, such as mattress sanitation, odor and enzyme treatments, and leather cleaning and conditioning. Call AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 for all your carpet cleaning needs and more. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. I'll see you soon.
Do you crave growth for your business? That's where The Point comes in. Fran Halloran here. Kevin Cohen and the other local hosts like me have worked to create a space where listeners transform into family. Are you a local business aiming for the stars? You need to get with Kevin and let him help create an individualized blueprint for your growth using the influential stage of The Point Radio. Reach out directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, make this year extraordinary.
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Huff Nation Sports Zone, each and every Saturday, 10 p.m. right here on 100.7 FM, The Point, and also 1470 AM. It'll be a fun trip around the world of sports. Huff Nation Sports Zone, check it out.
This is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks ending mixed with the Dow suffering its fifth straight session of losses as investors reviewed a new batch of earnings reports. The Dow and S&P 500 ending the week with losses and snapping a 6-week winning streak. Tech stocks gained as bond yields fell while industrials lagged. And most of the so-called Magnificent Seven group of tech stocks gained. Chip heavyweight Nvidia rose 1% and briefly surpassed Apple as the world's most valuable company. The Dow down 260 points, the Nasdaq higher by 103, S&P 500 down 2. Shares of Deckers Outdoor surged 11% after the parent company of Hoka Sneakers and UGG Boots reported second quarter earnings and revenue that smashed analysts' estimates. And shares of Colgate-Palmolive fell 4%, even though the household products maker posted third quarter earnings that beat expectations. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
It's the Will Cain Show.
If we're being real and we boil it down to it, this is C-team Democrats, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris. And that may be good enough because the election may simply be yet again a referendum on Donald Trump. But you're not looking at even a practiced and good politician for Democrats. You are truly looking, not at JV. I think you are truly looking at C-team. We'll see if that's good enough for America.
The podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Someone will be right with you.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. High school football scoreboard across the state here on the Sports Talk Media Network, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Clinton defeated Blacksburg tonight, 61-14 was that final score. And Hampton County over Well Branch, 38-21, a couple of other finals. And also got a final in on that big game between Saluda and Strom Thurmond. Saluda stays undefeated, knocks off Thurmond 36-25. Back to reports in a moment. Let's welcome in David Shelton, High School Sports Report, and Charleston Post and Courier, known by his friends as Bib. Best in business. David, how are you? You had a pretty good game tonight down there because, as I remember correctly, you were at the Bishop England game tonight. Bluffton and Bishop England, correct? Hello, David. He was at the Bishop England and Bluffton game. Do we have to hit that thing to turn it a different color? I'm thinking we have to hit it, make it a different color.
Well, it is.
Huh? Yeah. Is it lit up right there?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, maybe we lost him.
All right, let's put him on hold.
Yeah, we lost him through a bad area.
Could have been a bad sell. All right, we'll get back to him in a moment. 28-24, Bishop England over Bluffton. In the meantime, let's go to Scott Keeler from the Prep Red Zone tonight up in the upstate. Scott, it's great to have you with us. How are you?
Good, Phil. How are you doing?
We're doing great. It's good to have you with us. Tell us about your game tonight.
Yeah, so St. Joseph's tonight knocked off Palmetto 35-14. I guess the news out of this one is that sets up, obviously the private schools up in this area moved up to 3A this year. And pretty much going to be a region title game next week when St. Joseph's travels to Powdersville. They're both 3-0 in Region 2, 3A. And Powdersville won tonight. Now, St. Joseph's has Christ Church left at the end of the year. Christ Church is the only other team in that region with not two losses. They're 2-1 after tonight. They eked out a win over Southside Christian tonight late. So Christ Church is 2-1, but the only two undefeateds are Powdersville and St. Joe's, and they meet next week in Powdersville. So.
That'll be a big one. What about St. Joe's tonight? A pretty big offensive night for them.
Yeah, they're coached by Eric Nash, who's an All-American lineman for Wofford, and he runs that Mike Ayers style of offense. Triple option, really solid for ground game. They have an up-back named William Gillespie. You might not have heard of him, but he does everything for that team. He had 139 yards on 12 carries, 4 touchdowns tonight. He got the scoring started on their first drive. He had over 50 yards on the first drive, including touchdown. He does the kickoffs. He did an onside kick after that score. They recovered the onside kick, and one of the sports people there that are in sports information there told me that was their 5th recovered onside kick this year, and he does all the kickoffs. And then he scored the next touchdown. So they were up 14-0 before Palmetto touched the ball. Palmetto cut it to 28-14 in the third quarter. They got a nice run back to about midfield, and then 2 runs by William Gillespie later. It was 35-14, your final score. He took the fourth quarter off on offense, but he played the fourth quarter on defense, had the sack on Palmetto's last possession to kind of put a cherry on top of his night. And he leads the team in rushing. He's third in the team in tackles for loss. Like you said, he does kickoffs. Just kind of a remarkable young man.
Sounds like a jack of all trades, and he's pretty good at all of it, huh?
Yeah, he really is. A fun kid to watch and a fun offense to watch. Like I said, in that triple option, you don't see a whole lot of that anymore.
Absolutely.
Also want to mention before I get disconnected with you. Also, Palmetto's running back. His name is Cooper Robinson. He also had 139 yards tonight and one of their 2 touchdowns. So.
Hey, we appreciate it, Scott. Thank you as always, and dial us up next week. Love to hear from you.
Actually, I have my Furman site I run as well, and they're at VMI next week, so I'm going to be heading to Virginia next Friday night. But, man, I hated that it's off on that night because there's going to be a lot of region titles decided next week, even though we have that extra week this year.
Yeah. Well, good luck with the Paladins, man. See if you can get a W with them.
Yeah.
They need it in
All
the
right,
worst
thank
way.
you, Phil.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Phil.
Talk to you next time. Next time you're at the high school game, give us a call. Appreciate it. All right, Scott Keeler, Prep Red Zone in the Upstate. Now let's bring David on board. As we do that, I'll tell you that Mountain View Prep, a 49-20 winner tonight over Broome to win the championship in their first year of existence. That's Region 3-3A, and they moved to 8-0 on the season. So the Stars, they didn't mess around. They come right out of the gate, David Shelton, MVP, and win a region championship. I got a feeling they better have built a rather large trophy cabinet at that school.
Yeah, I would say they're going to probably win a lot of sports over the next few years, like those charter schools have been doing. They're just going to add to it and make everybody mad in the Upstate. Everybody's mad in Charleston. Everybody's mad in Columbia. Now everybody in the Upstate's going to be mad.
Yep. How about your game tonight? You had a good one.
Yeah, I did. It was a very competitive game, as I thought it would be, in Bishop England. I tell you, we haven't talked much about them, and a lot of people don't realize this, but they have been really, really bad the last couple of years. And they hired a new coach, Logan Hall, and they got their 7th win tonight. They're 7-2, probably going to beat Collin County. They're going to probably finish 8-2. They have a chance to win the region if May River were to lose another game. And they beat a pretty good team tonight. Bluffton's, they were undefeated in the region, and Bishop England was down 10 to start the fourth quarter, and quarterback Quinn Mahoney threw 2 touchdown passes, the last one with about 2.5 minutes left, and they came from behind to win 28-24. And it just really is a great, remarkable coaching job by Logan Hall. I mean, I would have bet anybody any amount of money that they wouldn't win 5 games this year, or probably less than that. But I saw them beat Philip Simmons, and they came from behind in that game. And then tonight, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was a beautiful game in terms of execution on either side. A lot of penalties, but they just find a way. And I think he's done a great job. I think he is an up and coming. He's a rising star. I don't know how long Bishop England is going to be able to hang on to this cat.
Yeah. Well, for so long, of course, they had the one family coaching the team, right? Father, then son?
Yeah, Canny, then John Canny, and John stepped down after last season. And, not to belittle anything John did, because he won 2 state titles. He won state titles in 12 and 13 at Bishop England, and won several years, had, 8, 9 wins. It's just the last couple of years since COVID. They just have not been able to get it going, and so he stepped down. Great guy. I love John Canny to death, and I haven't spoken to him, but I'm sure he's happy for those kids because they have, and I'm not talking about a lot of college prospects out there. I'm not, I don't know. There's definitely no Power 4 prospects on that field, and there may be some guys that can go walk on at some smaller schools, but they just play so dang hard. I mean, and he is a good offensive coach. Both games I've seen them play, his halftime adjustments have been spot on. They don't play well in the first half, and he makes some adjustments, and they move the ball up and down the field. Bluffton's got a good quarterback as a junior, and McCarthy, and a really good receiver that's a junior, Carnell Williams. He's a prospect, and they probably didn't get him the ball enough. But I mean, he's probably still caught 8 or 10 passes. But credit to Bishop England. I mean, Bluffton was driving down and eating the clock and got down there around the 30-yard line with about 4 minutes left, and Bishop England came up with a 4th down stop and went right down the field and scored to win the game. So, it was a good game. It was entertaining to watch.
Absolutely. All right, David, stand by. Get your thoughts on this in just a moment. Justin Mathis joining us with the story on the Dorman win tonight. I would say quite surprisingly over Gaffney, and they do it off the right foot of their place kicker. 3 field goals. And Justin, welcome in. Heck of a game. Got to call this one of Dorman's biggest wins in recent years to knock off an undefeated Gaffney team and hold them to a touchdown.
Yeah, and Phil, I'd also like to add a big win for Coach Jake Morris, his second year leading his alma mater, the Dorman Cavaliers. Coach Morris played for the legendary Dave Gutshaw, but I mean, my goodness, that was just if you like defense and you like hard-nosed football, this was your night. The right foot of Ranson Farr, the junior for the Cavaliers, came up clutch with kicks of, I believe, 41, 37, and then the go-ahead field goal, 41 yards again with 3:04 to play. I mean, all contributions on defense, my goodness. In the second half, there was one drive. Gaffney looked like they were getting close to midfield. All of a sudden, here comes Contavian Anderson, who I know is getting some attention from, I believe Clemson already has some looks from South Carolina as well. Came in untouched off a corner blitz, sacked Javon Gilmore in the backfield to end that Gaffney drive. Then a couple series later in the fourth quarter, Drew Darby hit looked like, if you remember vintage Goldberg from WCW, hit one of those like Goldberg tackles on the quarterback to end the Gaffney drive. I mean, the defense, just Coach Wade Cooper and that defensive staff, just the defensive coordinator for Dorman, all those coaches were doing a great job. Everybody, just all around team effort by the Cavaliers. Just, my goodness, what a night for the Cavalier faithful. I mean, Ranson Farr, a very humble young man, got the interview in post game on the broadcast on WQUL 101.7. The young man just humble. He deflected all his credit to his teammates who put him in that position. So, I mean, and Dorman went to a little bit of a run-heavy approach here. They used some different formations, a couple of tight ends maybe mixed in there. They used a whole bunch of different looks that really kind of set the table for their offense. And, hey, it worked tonight. So, I mean, good win for Dorman. And they get to go home next week back to Cavalier Stadium where they play the Eastside Eagles.
Has he been a good kicker all season? Has he been a good kicker far all season?
Yes, sir. He has. He hasn't been as many moments as, I guess, magnified like this one tonight. But he's been very consistent week in and week out. Ranson Farr, just a great kid. And he works hard just like everybody else. And, I mean, tonight was his night to shine. How about that?
That is huge. Hey, Justin, thank you very much, sir. Great hearing from you. Talk to you next week. Yep. Great win for Dorman, David. What do you – I mean, this is a program lifting win, to say the least, I would say, for Dorman.
Yeah, this is an upset. This shocked me. I thought Gaffney would win the game. Gaffney was undefeated, but if you just look at recent games – something's not clicking there. They're not clicking offensively. Their defense is pretty good. They're winning. They've won a lot of close games, and I don't know. I'll be honest. I haven't researched. I haven't checked on them. I haven't asked anybody. Gaffney's not been on my brain, but I just see the scores, and I mean it's a huge win for Dorman because Gaffney's more talented than Dorman. I mean that's just that there's no arguing that, but. Gaffney's got to kind of get it going. They'll be in the Division II playoffs, and there are going to be some stud teams in those Division II 5A playoffs. So, maybe they'll be fine. I don't know if their quarterback's been playing. Since he got suspended, I don't know any of that.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at what I see on the scores, and I'm like, God, I just thought they would be dominating people.
Speaking of dominating, we don't have an absolute final yet. I haven't seen it, but Spartanburg was leading Burns in the fourth, 51-14. So some strange things going on up in that part of the world. Well, let's hit to the break, and we'll come back in just a moment. Yankees and Dodgers go to the top of the ninth, 2-2. Dodgers just got a run at the bottom of the eighth and tied the game up 2-2. So they go to the top of the ninth in L.A., Game 1 World Series, tied at 2. We'll be back. Got a bunch of reports coming up. Update some other scores for you as well. David is with us also to analyze everything for us as only he can do. And we'll be back after this break. Hi.
difference with Lawyer Lisa.
I'm Lisa Hostile. Did you know it's possible to avoid probate court after you die, regardless of what you own? Why put your loved ones through a long, stressful, public process when there are better options for your family? Visit lawyerlisa.com to see how we can help.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Set your youth up for a lifetime of financial success with Smart Start from Founders Federal Credit Union. Smart Start products and educational resources help teach kids and teens the basics of saving, budgeting, and smart spending. Help them learn smart money skills to jumpstart their financial journey with Smart Start savings, debit, certificates, and educational resources. Learn more at foundersfc.com/smartstart. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Touchstone Energy Cooperative members save more on electricity. Members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Okay, we're back on the high school football scoreboard. It's brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Full bank of calls. I beg for your patience. Try to get to everybody. We go to Garrett Mitchell for two reasons. He's got a score report, but he also has a story on a serious injury in his game tonight. Of course, that involves Woodruff up in the upstates. And Garrett, welcome in. Sorry that you had a situation up there that required an ambulance and a long delay. I know Woodruff got the victory. I guess that becomes kind of a secondary part of the story now.
Was a really, really scary situation to watch. The final score was 44-10 Woodruff, so a game that really wasn't all that close, but it was called with 27 seconds to play in the third quarter. They just did not resume after the injury. You had a lot of distraught players on both sides. You saw kids from Woodruff and Chapman crying, being consoled. So kind of what happened, it was Woodruff's backup running back, Jalen Robertson. This is a young man who would start for a lot of teams. He's just a talented young man. He was in getting some carries late in the third quarter. After a short gain, kid from Chapman comes in to make a tackle, got up a little bit high, grabbed his face mask, and as he tried to spin away from the tackle, Chapman kid's got his face mask. Face mask went one way, body and head went the other. It was a frightening injury to watch. You're talking about a kid's head was pretty seriously contorted. I was unfortunately about 5 feet away from it when it happened. He went down. He was on the field. The game was delayed, I would say 35 minutes while they attended to him, got a stretcher. They braced his neck. The good news is this young man has feeling in all of his extremities. They did confirm that. He is able to move them, and the word is that he's being transported to the hospital for tests as a precaution, but they're optimistic that he is okay.
Well, that's great news. That is the best news of all, no doubt about it. Happy to hear that.
Yeah, it really is. You never want to see anything like that. You're talking about kids, and you see these people, these kids know each other. They're like brothers, and to see them come together, praying for their fallen teammate, consoling one another, just really shows the unity that these young men have. just a quick word on the game itself, because really it's irrelevant in the grand scheme. But big night for Woodruff sophomore running back Aiden Gibson. Just roughly off the top of my head, about 130 yards, and scored 4 touchdowns. And this young man just picked up his first Division I offer last Saturday from Coastal Carolina, and he's just a 10th grader. A lot of great things coming from him. Woodruff quarterback T.J. Morris, 250 or so passing. He threw for 2 touchdowns. So an otherwise great night for the Wolverines. Certainly there was a damper put on that, but we're all praying for Jalen Robertson, and hopefully he'll be fine.
Hey, thank you for the report. Great job. Keep us up to date. Big win for Woodruff. I know overshadowed by the injury for the young man, but it's good to hear that everything is looking positive there. We wish him the best. Talk to you next week.
Yeah, that sounds good. Wolverines back home against Broome, so we'll have a report then.
Thank you so much. Okay, Woodruff with the win. And the good news is it sounds like the young man, though he's in the hospital, getting a positive report here from Garrett, at least at this stage, David. Very scary stuff when you hear that, and you hope for the best, pray for the best, and sounds like it, at least here early on, sounds like it might be an okay situation, though. I mean, he may have some kind of an injury to deal with, but at least it doesn't sound like it could be devastating.
Yeah, I mean, it is good news when you hear movement in all extremities. That's big. So they'll do a CAT scan, and they'll he may have some sort of whiplash or something like that, because it sounds like the way the guy grabbed his mask and he twisted one way and the body went the other. That's a good way to get whiplash, and I've had whiplash, and I can tell you, not in a football game, but I can tell you it will numb you. It'll make you feel weird. That's for dang sure.
Uh-huh.
And it's never really, really, really serious, but it's scary when it first happens, but hopefully he'll be okay. We'll be all praying for him.
Absolutely. Quickly, we got about 2.5 minutes. Chris Deering, just back from China. Don't know if he watched any high school football in China, but he did watch some tonight. He was at the Newberry game tonight from the Prep Red Zone. Welcome in, Chris Deering. Thank you for joining us. Newberry gets the nice win tonight.
Yeah, it's still, this Newberry team is sort of going under the radar. They had a 3-game losing streak early in the season, but they lost to 3 pretty good teams in Clinton, Chapin, and Fairfield Central. But they are going to be a factor in the region. As a matter of fact, they go play Swansea next week for the region title. They get a big 45-20 win over Keenan tonight. Their quarterback, Kenton Caldwell, had himself a night. He scored on the first play of the game on a 53-yard run. He had another rushing touchdown, had 3 passing touchdowns, and this Newberry team's got some weapons. I mean, the Jamel House kid is committed to South Carolina. He didn't even score a touchdown tonight. He had a pretty decent night. But they have some other weapons. B.J. Jones is the running back. Cash Brown is a wide receiver. C.J. Earl is a wide receiver. They got some weapons that can hurt you, and I think, next week is a big one against Swansea, and this team is just, Newberry team's flying under the radar, good defensive backs. They shut down a really high-scoring Keenan offense tonight. Keenan scored late to get to 20, so didn't really do much the first 3.5 quarters. This Newberry team is maybe a little bit underrated across the state.
Sounds like it. Look forward to see what they can do once we get to the postseason. Good to have you back in the States, my man, and we'll talk to you next week.
Perfect. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you, Chris Deering, Prep Red Zone. We got more reports coming up. Hang in there with us, folks. I promise we'll get right to you. We'll go over all the scores as well. We'll be back. Top of the hour break. High School Scoreboard.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor. Former Israeli ambassador to the United States Michael Oren called for the White House to state unequivocally that Jerusalem is not committing genocide in the Gaza Strip after Vice President Kamala Harris appeared to equivocate on the issue. Speaking with the Salem Radio Network, Oren said her remarks set, quote, a very dangerous precedent.
It's not shocking. I've heard it many times from Kamala Harris, times from many representatives of the Democratic Party. It's the position of this administration. I think it would be the position of the Obama administration. Nothing surprising about it.
Former Israeli military officer Michael Oren says he was hurt by Kamala Harris' condemnation of Israel.
Personally, as an Israeli, it's disappointing because it assumes that Israel alone can end this war. The war ends when Hamas surrenders. The hostages are freed when Hamas gives up.
The former Israeli ambassador was interviewed on the Salem Radio Network. Also at townhall.com, former President Donald Trump visited Texas for his first public campaign event in the state since receiving the Republican nomination. He held a news conference in Austin to talk about border security. Texas has become Kamala Harris' ground zero for backing illegal immigration.
Over the past 4 years, this state has become Kamala's staging ground to import her army of migrant gangs and illegal alien criminals into every state in America, and every state's a border state. You've heard that. It's true.
He later sat down with the country's preeminent and leading podcaster, Joe Rogan. A food poisoning outbreak tied to McDonald's Quarter Pounders has expanded, with at least 75 people sickened in 13 states. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said earlier today that at least 22 people have been hospitalized. One person in Colorado died. No source of the E. coli outbreak has been identified, but officials focusing on onions used on the burgers. More at townhall.com.
To wonder the impact this election may have on their retirement savings. In less than 30 days, our entire economy could face a monumental shift that could destroy a huge amount of value many Americans have stored in their 401ks or IRAs. In times like these, the most trusted store of wealth in human history stands out: physical gold and silver. Many Americans have looked to True Gold Republic for help. They specialize in helping those with a 401k, IRA, or other retirement accounts convert their stocks and bonds into physical gold and silver to protect their hard-earned savings. True Gold is offering listeners a free copy of their Election Gold Protection Kit today. To claim yours, call 800-300-GOLD. This information is free and might very well save your comfortable retirement. By acting before the election, you can still make a penalty-free conversion with the help of True Gold's award-winning team. Call 800-300-GOLD. That's 800-300-GOLD. True Gold Republic is not a financial advisor. Consult with your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-300-4653.
To expand on the McDonald's story, as many people have been sickened in the food poisoning, more from Jackie Quinn now.
The Centers for Disease Control says the McDonald's Quarter Pounder food poisoning outbreak is wider than first thought. 75 people have been sickened in 13 states, and one victim died. Investigators are honing in on slivered onions used on the burgers, which came from a California-based grower, Taylor Farms. Teresa Murray with the consumer group PERG says the link was likely found in patients' lab testing.
Genome sequencing, where they were able to connect the dots of different people in different cities who get sick, and they're able to do tracing and figure out.
McDonald's has pulled Quarter Pounders from menus in several states. I'm Jackie Quinn.
One man in Colorado died as a result of the outbreak. You'll find more breaking news, analysis, and headlines at townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor.
This is Ian with AccuClean. Regular carpet, rug, and upholstery cleaning isn't just about keeping them looking beautiful and smelling fresh. It can also help to extend their life, which in turn saves money in the long run. Check out AccuClean today for our other services, such as mattress sanitation, odor and enzyme treatments, and leather cleaning and conditioning. AccuClean today at 803-957-1202 for all your carpet cleaning needs and more. Once again, that's AccuClean at 803-957-1202. I'll see you soon.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point. By the way, before we do what's supposed to happen here, thank you for pushing the button.
It's a Friday night in South Carolina, and that means high school football. Welcome to the Founders Federal High School Scoreboard with Phil Kornblut and David Shelton. We've got all the scores from across the state, plus game reports and with coaches. The High School Scoreboard is proudly brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now, let's head to the Scoreboard Studios in Columbia. Here's Phil Kornbluth.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. High School Scoreboard here on the Sports Talk Media Network, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Let's catch you up on some scores from the upstate, and we'll get back to reports. Spartanburg and Burns, that's gone final 58-14. Vikings win that. Walhalla 62, West Oak nothing. We've got 96-56. American Leadership Academy 0. Mountain View Prep 49, Broome 20. Liberty 42, Landrum 24. As we told you earlier, Dorman over Gaffney 9-7. In overtime, Emerald 37. Fountain Inn 34. Abbeville 63. Dixie 14. Clinton 61. Blacksburg 14. Just heard the report. Woodruff 44. Chapman 10. Powdersville 56. Carolina 20. And Boiling Springs over Riverside 41-6. Christchurch 11. Southside Christian 7. Crescent beat Chesney 21-10. And it was Westside 49, Lawrence 3. BHP 48, Pendleton 7. St. Joseph's 35, Palmetto 14. Ware Shoals 70. And Ware Shoals 70 and Calhoun Falls 18. Okay, David Shelton's with us. Anything in go ahead.
PD Academy beat Bethesda 25-22. You got to quit counting on score stream so much.
I know. I tell people up front, I've said I can't hang my hat on all these scores because give me the final again. Give me that final.
You said 14 to something, but it was 25-22 from what I just saw.
PD winning?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to wean myself off of that, but it isn't a central place to go to. Unfortunately, you kind of have to lean on that. Real quick, before we get back to our reporters, I guess you look at the scores that we just talked about. That Spartanburg-Burns game, did you see a big blowout like that coming up?
No, because Burns has a pretty good defense. They got a really good defense. And I don't know the details. I mean, it could have been turnovers or whatever, but I did not see I saw Spartanburg winning the game, but not putting 58 on the board.
Yeah, great win for them. Good night for the city of Spartanburg from that standpoint, because you got the win by Dorman and you got the win by Spartanburg there. Okay, back to reporters who've been standing by. Appreciate your patience, folks, as I get to the next list. And we go to Hugh Gray, the voice of Newberry, on the call tonight as the Bulldogs get that very nice win. So we'll get the view from where you saw it tonight. Hugh, what'd you think of the performance tonight of your team?
Well, really impressed with them. Chris said a lot of great things about the Dogs and talked about being under the radar, and I think that's right. I think especially as we've gotten into the season and the team has gelled a little bit, come into this new offense, started running this air raid offense with Coach Jeter. They're really understanding what each individual player's role is. And Kenton Caldwell, the quarterback, really good-looking young kid. He can put the ball in a tight window. He can hit a receiver in stride 40 yards downfield, and if the pocket breaks down, he can pick up yardage on a scramble. And then they'll call his number two sometimes. Like Chris said, it was the first play of the game was a keeper by Kenton, who takes it off tackle and then cuts back into the middle and runs a 53-yard touchdown. So Newberry has some weapons. Like you said, most folks know about Jamel Howes, who's committed to Carolina, but there's some other receivers out there that have a lot of speed. Even after the Chapin game, the Chapin folks were talking about the speed of Newberry's receivers. So they can get behind you quickly and create a lot of separation that way. And running back B.J. Jones, he's a tough guy. He does not go down on first contact. He's got a little bit of speed, a little bit of power, and a little bit of elusiveness. So he's got a little bit of everything. Sees the field well. But I don't want to go without mentioning the defense, because when I talked to Coach before the game today, he says one thing they wanted to do as a game plan was keep Desmond Washington, Keenan's quarterback, uncomfortable in the backfield, in the pocket. And I don't think he dropped back and had his feet set for more than one or two plays all night. That front seven for Newberry was able to get pressure on him, make him flush from the pocket, get him unbalanced, and just made him uncomfortable all night long. So really excited to see what Newberry's doing and looking forward to this game next week with Swansea.
You like the way they're kind of coming together as you get ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, sure do. I was a little bit worried. Several of us were, because Newberry went about 5 weeks and either due to open date or hurricane or canceled games, didn't play but one game over a 5-week period. So we thought, maybe there's some rustiness going on, but Coach Jeter, we talked about that pregame too, and he talked about how, he kept the guys focused, how the coaching staff worked hard to keep the guys focused, even though we didn't have games, even though they didn't have games, and even though they didn't have games, treat last week as if they had a game, just to maintain that edge. And so looks like they've done that. Again, big game next week with Swansea, and we'll see where we are after that.
All right, sir. We thank you very much. Talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, Phil.
All right, Hugh. Thank you very much. Give you some other quick finals here as they continue to roll in. Try to hit on some finals that we haven't hit on yet. Catawba Ridge 26, Rock Hill 21, Clover 53, Nation Ford 20, Indian Land 20, Fort Mill 6, and Chester 42, Mid Carolina nothing, Louisville 52, Great Falls 7, Andrew Jackson 20, North Central 14, Sherrod 38, Buford 14, Central 34, Chesterfield 8, Berkeley 30, Lucy Beckham 9, Stratford 30, Wando 28, North Myrtle Beach 52, St. James 15, Somerville 42, West Ashley 14, West Florence 13, Westwood 8, South Florence 36, Lower Richland 19, Myrtle Beach loses to Carolina Forest 52-38, and Lugoff Elgin 41, Spring Valley 10. I think we've given you the rest of those. Let's continue as we go next to Eric Sprott, way up in the corner of the state, up in Seneca, watching things involving teams there in Oconee County, Greenville County, maybe a little Anderson County up there as well. A lot of things happening up there as we head towards the playoffs. Eric, welcome in. How are you?
Doing well, Phil. Thanks for having me yet again. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thank you for your patience. Really appreciate it. What stood out to you tonight up in your area? Did Blue Ridge and Daniel play tonight?
They did not. They actually play tomorrow at noon.
Okay.
That's kind of part of a slow Friday night for us. We only had one game in our area tonight with Walhalla and West Oak, and you reported that was a correct score. Walhalla 62, West Oak 0. So that one was accurate. I know you were getting a hard time about that.
That's old David. David's a stickler for correct scores, you know.
But yeah, that was a dominant one for Walhalla. Landon Robinson scored on a 60-yard run, first play from scrimmage, and he obviously all Walhalla from there. Silas Parrish had 3 long touchdowns for Walhalla, 43-yard run, 55-yard run, and an 81-yard reception. So just a big night for them. Walhalla's perfect in the region. And they have a big one at BHP next week, a battle atop the Western 3A region there. So that's going to be a big one.
Absolutely. How are things looking elsewhere around your area with the playoffs coming up? Obviously, Daniel looks good once again. You mentioned BHP, Walhalla. I think Seneca looks pretty good at this point. What do you like up there?
Yeah, Seneca looks good. They also play tomorrow. They're at home against Pickens at 1:00. They lost last Friday up at Greer. That was a close ball game. They left some points out on the field. But they bounced back well. They had one of those Tuesday games. They went over to Blue Ridge, won pretty comfortably, 47-21. So they're going to look to get right. We'll keep the good things rolling, I have to say. Tomorrow at home, they're going to be off next week, and big game with Daniel looming on the 8th to close out the regular season. So we're kind of building up to that one in our area, but we've also got Daniel Greer on the horizon next week. That's going to be a big one.
Oh, that will be. Well, we thank you, and next week we'll get you on a busier night. Thanks for checking in with us.
Absolutely, Phil. Take care.
You too, buddy. Good hearing from you. All right, David, I got one score right tonight, so there.
Well, let's shut down the office.
You got to be so mean. All right,
say good night, Cornblue.
Let's go to Richard Sally, Orangeburg Prep tonight. Okay, Richard, welcome in. What you got for us tonight, Orangeburg Prep over in Skeeza?
Hey, Phil. Orangeburg Prep beat Patrick Henry out of Estill tonight, 40-28. Indians started the scoring off on their first possession. T. Riley on a 60-yard touchdown run. Walt Mims with the extra point, 7-0. Patrick Henry responded with Michael Tucker Mathis, a 15-yard touchdown pass to Jacob Corley. Mathis' kick was also good, 7-7. Jasiri Parker on a 15-yard touchdown run for OP. Mims' kick was good, 14-7 OP. Mathis again responds with a 20-yard touchdown pass to Jacob Corley. His kick was good, 14-14. Before the end of the half, Hunter Judy scored on a 3-yard touchdown pass. The kick failed, 20-14 OP. And then right before halftime, OP scores once again. Walt Mims to T. Riley on a 6-yard touchdown pass. Mims' kick is good, 27-14 at halftime. Begin the third quarter. OP takes the opening drive, and Hunter Judy scores on a 2-yard touchdown run. Mims' kick good, 34-14 OP. Mathis responds with a 45-yard touchdown pass to Britton Peoples. The kick is good, 34-21 OP. Mathis once again a 5-yard run, and his kick is good. Closes it to 34-28 with 4 minutes to go. Patrick Henry is successful on an onside kick, but T. Riley intercepts the ball and returns it deep into territory. Jamari Parker scores on a 5-yard run right at the end of the game, and OP holds on to a 40-28 victory.
Tell you what, I'm hearing more and more successful onside kicks in high school football. You don't get that hardly in the pros or the professional college rank, but you get it in high school still.
Yep, this wasn't a Ty Kroger type. It was the standard roll it and popped it up, and their man was right there for it. So it was a nice kick. And, of course, the kicker was, again, that Mathis kid for Patrick Henry, who was a do-it-all player for them. I was really impressed with him. But the Indians have a player that just received 2 D1 offers in T. Riley. He's a 6'5", 200-pound wide receiver, tight end type. He's had an awesome year. He had 2 touchdowns tonight and 2 interceptions. So looking for him to get some more attention. He's just a junior.
Look forward to that. Hey, thank you. Talk to you next week. Always good hearing from you.
Thank you, Phil.
We
Good night.
appreciate very much. Okay, going to run to the break here. More reports are coming up, so don't go away. More from David Shelton as well. North Myrtle Beach, 52. St. James, 15. Carolina Forest, 52. Myrtle Beach, 38. Socastee beat Conway 10-0. And Aner over Georgetown, 50-32. Andrews downs Burke, 40-6. Kingstree, 52. Mullins, 12. Be right back.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at scattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff program.
Farm Bureau insurance agents live and work right in our community. They're not at the end of some 1-800 number thousands of miles away. The personalized attention, competitive rates, and a reputation for fast, fair claims sets Farm Bureau insurance apart from the competition. For your auto, home, and life insurance needs, trust Farm Bureau Insurance. In Clinton and Lawrence, give Buddy Bridges a call at 864-984-0413 or stop by the office at 726 East Main Street in Lawrence to see how local makes a difference.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hostetler-Brown. Helping an aging loved one arrange for their care can be one of the most difficult things you will ever do. Fortunately, you don't have to navigate this maze alone. Lawyer Lisa's knowledgeable life care team can lead you down the right path. Visit lawyerlisa.com to see how we can help.
Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Founders Federal Credit Union believes in empowering future generations, helping to provide our youth a smart start as they begin their financial journey. Discover Smart Start by Founders. Start off with Smart Start savings with a low minimum balance of just $5. Teach responsible spending with a free debit card, text alerts, and no minimum balance. Jumpstart a lifetime of saving and investing with a Smart Start 12-month certificate featuring flexible deposits. Start with just $100 and add more deposits at any time. Finally, dive in with fun educational resources. Founders is excited to team up with you with resources and support to give our youth a smart start towards a brighter tomorrow. Learn more at foundersfcu.com/smartstart. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Good to have you on this Friday night. A lot of folks holding. Please be patient. We're going to get to you. We have plenty more time. Update the World Series, top of the 10th, 2 outs. Yankees have taken a 3-2 lead over the Dodgers. I'm not going to let this game affect my mood. But we're keeping a close watch on it there, David. David, I know you're a Yankee fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So we can hold hands and cheer together.
And I'm a major Dodger hater, so
you and me,
you
and me both.
I mean, we could probably I love Ohtani, and I was excited the Dodgers were in the series because I can't wait to see him hitting Yankee Stadium on the right porch.
Well, he's already tattooing the baseball in this game. They barely kept him in the park twice. So.
Oh wow. Well, he's unbelievable, but I'm not a Dodger guy, and I'm pulling for the Yankees.
Yes, sir.
Much to the chagrin of my son, who won't speak to me if the Yankees win the World Series.
Well, they're going to the bottom of the 10th now, 3-2 Yankees. Andrews beat Burke 40-6. Kingstree 52, Mullins 12, Carvers Bay 38, Johnsonville 14. Greensea Floyd's 48, Hemingway 6, Hanapapico 27, Latta 22, and Northside Christian 34, Florence Christian 7. Back to reports in just a moment. We want to go to the phones, welcome in to the program here on Sports Talk, as we like to do in working with the good folks at Touchstone Energy Cooperatives. Oh, did we lose? We don't have Claude. Okay, we'll do that in just a moment then. We'll go back to the reports then. And who's next? I've lost my list. Monty? All right, Monty Dutton. Monty joining us from Clinton. Hey, Monty, big win tonight, big offense tonight for the Red Devils.
Yes, indeed. The Red Devils rushed for 478 yards, passed for 127, the 605 yards total offense. I have to delve in the record book, but that may be a Clinton High School record. But the impressive thing about it was that Clinton scored 7 touchdowns by 5 different people.
only the quarterback, Deshaun Richardson, and running back Rhett Gillum had 2. Javen Cook scored a touchdown, and he had his usual 152 yards rushing on 12 carries. And they had a player named A.Z. Simmons who had 3 carries for 82 yards. So it was a mismatch. And I talked to Coach Corey Fountain after the game, and he said, and I was expressing the fact that, Clemson played their first 5 games against larger schools, and they had 6 scheduled, but the Union game was never played. The Red Devils are now 6-2, and undefeated in Region 1 3A. And I was asking about the fact that they have a string of runaways right now, and I wonder sometimes if you get a little sluggish and don't improve when you're not going against tough opposition. But he said it was good for the team because of the fact that they're playing so many people and so many people getting to play that it's good for the team morale and the spirit's real good. So Clinton is rolling along, and I think that early season schedule will come in handy for them as the playoffs come in. But they're off next week, and they play Liberty, which had a big win tonight. But that will be the regular season finale. But there was a big crowd in the stadium, and everybody went home happy. The game did take an awfully long time, though.
Why? If they're running the football? Penalties?
Because Blacksburg kept playing pretty much speed up and passing on every play. They played it all the way out in the end, used a lot of timeouts. The score was once 48-0. So the game just they couldn't get far enough ahead to make the clock run.
Gotcha.
so it went a long time.
We thank you. Long day. Have a good night. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks a lot, Phil.
Thank you, Monty. Great job as always. Let's see. We're going to go next to Thomas Grant. All right, Thomas, Prep Red Zone. Boy, you had a hot one tonight. Saluda, Strom Thurmond might have been one of the top 2 or 3 games in the state tonight, and Saluda gets the win.
Yeah, you could say it was 21 years in the making for Saluda because that's the last time they actually beat Strom Thurmond at home. I mean, it's been really a series that Strom Thurmond has dominated, but tonight it was a game where really it came down to the second half where Saluda was able just to assert itself offensively on the run. In particular, Braden Williams, who had 19 carries for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a 54-yard touchdown, but that wasn't the most impressive run of the night for him. Late in the game when Saluda had closed within 3, it was a 3rd and inches, and basically all he needed was an inch. But instead, what happened was he got the handoff, and you can see it on my timeline video where he literally was tackled by basically the entire team, shook them off, and was able to break free for a 39-yard run. And then sort of like his next play, I guess his teammate said he could do one better, where he got the handoff from the 40, and he was literally spun around by his face mask, stayed on his feet, and he rushed in for a touchdown to sort of put the game clincher touchdown to make it 35-25. But this was a game also where Strom Thurmond struggled with its PATs. They missed 2 PATs. They also missed 2 two-point conversions, which put them in the hole. They did get a couple of spectacular touchdown catches from their north-south selection in Jay Shule, but for the most part, it was all in the second half. It was basically dominated by Saluda keeping the ball on the ground. They also were able to get some pressure up front. Devin Wallace had 2 of their sacks. And so now Saluda improves to 7-0, which sets up really a big battle at the border next week when they take on their, you could say, cross-county rival, Batesburg-Leedsville, a battle of unbeaten for the region title.
That is going to be something. I hope you're there so you can tell us about it. And, Thomas, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Okay.
That is going to be a doozy next week, David, a doozy between Saluda and BL.
Yeah, those 3 teams are so evenly matched. I've been kind of waiting for the games to catch up, get away from the storm, because these 3 teams are really good.
Yep. All right, going to hit the break. We'll be back. High School Scoreboard brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union.
Customize and save hundreds of insurance with Liberty. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating!
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty. So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
New prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
With SRN News, I'm Ron Taylor. Russian actors made a widely circulated video falsely depicting mail-in ballots for Donald Trump being destroyed in Pennsylvania. A video that showed mail-in ballots for Trump apparently being destroyed in a suburban Philadelphia county took off quickly on social media Thursday. Officials say it's part of Moscow's broader effort to raise unfounded questions about the integrity of the election. The Washington Post says it won't endorse a candidate for president in this year's tightly contested race and would avoid doing so in the future. The decision came less than 2 weeks before Election Day and was immediately condemned by a former executive editor. The former longtime CEO of Abercrombie & Finch has pleaded not guilty to federal sex trafficking and interstate prostitution charges. Michael Jeffries denied to comment earlier today after he entered the plea in the federal court in Central List of New York. He is free on $10 million bond and is due back in court December 12th. This is SRN News.
So right now, maybe
Want to hear my success story? I'm Fran Halloran, the money coach. I'm celebrating a decade of partnering with The Point. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. I've used The Point to significantly grow my small business. It started with a meeting with Kevin Cohen. Do you own a small business? Are you on a limited budget? No problem. Reach out to Kev at 563-8558. Customized plan and start your journey to business growth with The Point today. Success is one call away. Take the leap.
And Doug. Customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. After that, you can also save me, as I'm currently hanging from the edge of a cliff. To recap, number 1, customize and save. Number 2, time allowing, save me. Shoulders separating!
Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com. Savings may vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
It's time to gear up for the NFL season. The new season brings new styles on NFLshop.com. Take your game day style to the next level with jerseys from all 32 teams, including new styles to 2024 and rookie jerseys. Head over to NFL Shop today for the largest collection of officially licensed gear from all favorite brands. To shop now, go to NFLshop.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Someone will be with you. Please continue to hold. The Point.
Okay, we are back on the high school scoreboard. What a moment in the World Series. Otani's coming up. Nestor Cortez has come in. 1 out. First and second for the Dodgers. Yanks leading 3-2. Wow. But you know what? You can listen to us and watch that. Just turn down the audio, listen to us. You can get the best of both worlds, high school football and terrific World Series action. Back to reports in just a moment here on the high school scoreboard. Want to welcome in to the program, as we like to do when we can, weather permitted, have representatives from the various outlets with the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, folks who are at games and working in the community. And Claude Terry is joining us tonight. And he is a lineman for Touchstone Energy, and we welcome him into the program. He was at the Hampton County game tonight. Hampton County having a great year and another big win tonight. And Claude, welcome in. How are you?
Doing good. Hi, Phil. Hi, David. Enjoy y'all's show.
Thank you. Great having you with us. Tell us about the ball game tonight you were at, because Hampton County is a team you got to keep a close watch on.
Yes, sir. We're still kind of licking our wounds a little bit after the loss to Barnwell last week, because that was basically for the region championship. But started off a little slow tonight, took the opening kickoff and drove down inside the 20-yard line, and Chris Terry threw an interception, and they returned it out to the 10, and they got 2 first downs, and we held them, and second drive we went down, and Christopher Terry hits Jalen Singleton on a 40-yard touchdown to put the Hurricanes up 7-0. Both teams kind of exchanged punts, and Whale Branch drives the length of the field and scores to tie the game 7-7. They hold the Hurricanes and get the ball back, drive down and score to go up 14-7 with 23 seconds left in the half. Hampton gets a good return, runs out of bounds to get a first down at the Whale Branch 15-yard line, run the field goal team out and kick a field goal as time expired to cut the lead to 14-10. Second half was more Hurricane football. We stopped Whale Branch on 4th down and took over and drove 73 yards as Christopher Terry hits Terrell Grant from 40 yards out to go up 17-14. The defense forced a 3-and-out, and the Hurricanes wasted no time as Jalen Singletary scored on the first play from scrimmage from 68 yards out to put the Canes up 24-14 with 3:55 to play in the third quarter. Hurricane defense holds again, and the offense takes over. On 3rd and 11, quarterback Christopher Terry is pressured and takes off up the middle, breaks a tackle, and scores from 50 yards out to put the Kings up 31-14. Offense seems to get going now, and Whale Branch drives the length of the field and gets down to our 20-yard line, throws a pass across the middle, gets tipped by Emerson Gerald and picked off by Tyler Davis, returned 90 yards for a touchdown. Put the Kings up 38-14. Whale Branch would go on to score one more touchdown, but the game was pretty much out of reach. But what a tale of 2 different halves.
Absolutely. My goodness. And if I must...
Whale Branch up 14-10 at the half, and the Hurricanes outscore them 28-7 second half.
Wow. What a performance. While you're talking, I have to be a professional here and report this. Freddie Freeman just hit a walk-off grand slam.
Wow.
I think it was on the first pitch from Nelson Cortez. Yankees had gotten it to 2 outs. Not only was it a walk-off grand slam, it was a 2-out walk-off grand slam, and he knew it on the first pitch. He hit it to deep center, and Dodgers take the 1-0 lead. Wow, what a ball game. But what a game that you
Couldn't
saw.
happen to a better person.
Yes, really. I mean, Braves fans are going like, wow. You know, that's our boy still. They still love him. Before we let you go, boy, Hampton County, when it became a consolidated school, that thing has really taken off from a football program standpoint, hasn't it?
Yes, sir. A lot of great athletes.
Yes, and I mean, you brought together kids from several different schools, and in a short amount of time, they kind of all come together and formed a team and formed a program.
Yes, sir. Coach Hannah's done a great job of bringing the kids together and having a brotherhood, and I mean, those kids are great on and off the field.
Well, they're winning a lot of football games. What was life like for you after the storm down there? You're a lineman, You are a lineman with the Palmetto Electric Company down that way, part of Touchstone Energy. So what was life like for you as you were trying to help people get their power back?
Wow, as the guy said last week from Little River, very busy. I've never seen so many trees down in all my life, but I think we had over about 180 broken poles between Jasper and Hampton counties.
Wow. How many hours were you putting in?
Probably 14 to 15-hour days for probably 6 or 7 days straight.
Well, you guys...
And we're still picking up some stuff that, that maybe hunters, places that weren't there and those kind of things.
Yeah. Wow. Do you know who the last person was to get their power back? Do you send them a note and say, there you go, we got you back?
It was actually a guy that had his meter base ripped off the side of the house by a tree. So once he got that put back and we got him plugged in, that was our last guy.
So you actually know who the last person was to get their power back.
Yep.
That's amazing. He was glad to see you guys, huh?
You got that right.
Yeah. Well, listen, we thank you. Thank you for what you do in terms of your service, because that's a dangerous job. And, boy, people lose their electricity. They have very little patience. They want it back right away. It's not that easy, is it?
That's correct. Well, we kind of got our people spoiled. We have people on call 24/7, and we usually pretty quick about getting it back on. So, but people have grown to be a little patient, and they know we're working hard and getting at it.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate the report. We'll talk to you again.
Okay, thanks, Phil. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Claude Terry from Touchstone Energy and Palmetto Electric Cooperatives down there. Let me give you some scores from the Low Country through Teary Eyes. Teary Eyes. I'm trying to be professional here, David. I know you're sick like I am. Never have liked Freddie Freeman.
Well, no, I love Freddie Freeman.
No, I've always hated him.
If somebody's gonna do it, I'm okay with him, because when the Braves didn't sign him, I was really upset.
Well, I'm upset now. Philip Simmons beat Timberland 21-7, Berkeley 30, and Beckham 9, James Island 30, Ashley Ridge 20, Somerville 42, West Ashley 14, Stratford 30, Wando 28, Fort Dorchester 64, Stalls 6, Bishop England 28, Bluffton 24, Hilton Head 44, Colleton County 6, Hanahan 43, North Charleston 8, Andrews 40, Burke 6, Woodland 56, Academic Magnet 7, Cross 52, Bethune-Bowman nothing, Military Magnet 46, St. John's, I don't have a score. You have a score on St. John's? I got Military Magnet with 46. I don't have a St. John's score on this list. Well, we know Military Magnet won, 46 to something. Baptist Hill 32, Scotts Branch 28, Porter Gould 49, Cardinal Newman 7, Northwood Academy 28, Augusta Christian 6, Pinewood Prep 45, First Baptist 14, Colleton Prep 38, Dorchester Academy 12. There you go with Low Country scores. Okay, thanks to folks who've been hanging on with a heavy heart, we will continue and go to Lou Bajak, State Newspaper, state.com, gogamecocks.com, LouBajakScoop.com. And you're probably pretty doggone happy. Well, you're a Pirates fan. What do you care?
I'm a sports fan. That was awesome. That was just, I'm sitting in the parking lot while I was on hold, had to put it up on YouTube TV, sitting in the parking lot, and wow.
Yeah.
Freddie. Intentionally walked to get him. Wow, that's just unreal.
I know. I don't
Hopefully
understand.
this sets up for a great series. What a setting. Hopefully we get 7 games like this. Well,
Absolutely. But if the Yankees, you just wasted your ace who gave you a great outing and you wanted to get that win.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, which game did you take in tonight around the Midlands?
Lugoff, Elgin, Spring Valley. Obviously, it was a different night around the Midlands. A lot of teams off and hadn't had a chance to see either team yet. So Lugoff, Elgin was impressive, getting their first region win and clinching a playoff spot.
defeating Spring Valley 41-10. Aiden Fitzgerald had 4 touchdown passes, 3 to Shamil Sadiq, and the Demons rolled in the second half and finally put together a complete game and get their first region win.
Been a tough year for Spring Valley. They were going well there for a little while, going into this season, but a downturn for them this year for sure.
Yeah, last 2 years really. I mean, I think I counted it's 22-game losing streak going back to. I mean, they went 0-10 last year, 0-9 this year. Yeah, they're in games close. They just can't get that second half and everything. But they got a lot of young kids, and I think they're happy with the future. But I mean, obviously, it's been tough these last couple of years for Coach Pearson. But Lugoff Elgin, first year for Coach Boulware, not a bad start making the playoffs, and they got a bright future. They like to throw the ball as well a lot, and it showed tonight.
Anything else around the Midlands? Like you said, not a busy night, but anything else really catch your eye tonight around the Midlands?
I mean, well, Arnie walk-off win against York, that was big. Will Wilson came back to the lineup tonight. They won a field goal. Camden winning, stopping Lancaster at the 1-yard line to end the game. That's pretty big. And then I know you guys talked about it. Saluda win. Saluda and Batesburg both win, setting up that big matchup next week, 1 versus 2. And we got Newberry and Swansea, also a big matchup next week. After that could go away to deciding that region title as well.
Who you like next week, Saluda and BL?
That's going to be tough. I'm going to go with BL, but it would be close. It's going to be at Saluda. I just think the atmosphere of the game is going to be phenomenal. I think both teams they're just balanced, and they have good quarterback play, good defenses, and I think it's going to be a heck of a ball game. Great, good small town football, and it should be a great atmosphere.
Absolutely, Lou. We thank you as always, my friend. Tell folks to pick things up on GoGamecocks.com, thestate.com, the state newspaper, and all that. And we thank you as always. Talk to you next week.
Appreciate it, Phil.
Thank you, Lou Bajak from the state. All right, let's hit the break, and we'll come back and run through these final reports. Folks are standing by. Going to take it right to the top of the hour with reports, so hang in there with us. Going to get to you as quickly as we can and try to give you some more finals that we might run across here in the final moments of the show tonight, though we pretty much hit finals on every game played so far tonight. So pretty much got them all covered. We'll be back after this break.
In Columbia, South Carolina, game days are our specialty. Whether you're viewing the game from in the stadium or from the big screen at your favorite local spot, the energy remains the same. Craft the perfect fall Saturday in a city where there is plenty of action on and off the field. From tubing and kayaking to Soda City to rooftop restaurants and plenty barbecue. We're ready when you are. Plan your weekend at experiencecolumbiasc.com.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You've a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Set your youth up for a lifetime of financial success with Smart Start from Founders Federal Credit Union. Smart Start products and educational resources help teach kids and teens the basics of saving, budgeting, and smart spending. Help them learn smart money skills to jumpstart their financial journey with Smart Start savings, debit, certificates, and educational resources. Learn more at foundersfcu.com/smartstart. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership qualification required. Terms and conditions apply.
Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of Co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
All right. Final minutes tonight. I promised we'd get to reporters. This is probably the one reporter I don't want to go to at this moment, but he had a nice ball game tonight. The voice of the Socastee Braves and a Dodgers fan, Smitty, Matt Smith, calling a shutout tonight. Braves 10-0 over Conway. Smitty, congratulations on both fronts.
Well, yes. But I on the Dodgers, and by the way, I called the game just a few feet from another Dodgers fan, Ashley Smith, there with Conway High School. A lot of good vibes there, but truthfully, Corn, can't say anything. I think this is going 7. Whoever won tonight, so we'll just have to call a truce for a moment and circle back to that. But yeah, you mentioned it, 10-0 win for Socastee, and it was so big. So important, a pivotal game, as you know from covering this all these years. So much can change in the region in the last couple of weeks, especially now that the region season has been extended a week into November. And so this was the first region win for Socastee. And next week they play rival St. James. The week after that, they have Myrtle Beach. So much can change and shift in the last couple of weeks. But this is the one Socastee needed to get. The defense was obviously the star. A couple of players, Cade Ravansky and Daniel DeVoe, were in Conway quarterback Noah Legg's face all night long. Conway couldn't get anything going consistently in the pass game because of the pass rush, and the defense was certainly the star. And then offensively for Socastee, Amari Godfrey, 23 carries for 67 yards. So you can tell what kind of night it was. Just tough sledding. It was an old-style football game with both teams bogging down in their red zone attempts, not really clicking on all cylinders, but you have to give a lot of credit to both defenses. Conway, of course, drops to 1-7, very un-Conway-like. Coach Pierce still trying to get things going there, and he's got a lot of good pieces, but they just weren't consistent tonight. Socastee's faced those problems in the past, but maybe a new day for them because getting that one region win, their third win of the year, and then look at the 3 they've beaten: Aner, Loris, and Conway. So I know Conway's not having much of a year, but Loris is, and Aner's a pretty good team as well for Socastee to have on its mantle.
Absolutely. Okay, Smitty, you can go celebrate your double win tonight, and we'll talk to you and see you next week, sir.
Absolutely. Enjoy your day off. For the Gamecocks and Tigers both off.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
I'm going down to see the Citadel. I got to go see football somewhere, so.
You need to keep the streak alive.
Got to have some football. Okay, brother. Thank you. Couple of other finals: Columbia 28, Eau Claire 8, and Lamar beat C.A. Johnson 49-16. And let's go back to reporters. Thank you to Smitty. We're going to go next to. I'm not sure where we're going next. Tell me where we're going next. JP, I've lost the list. Travis Jenkins. Okay, Travis, the man. Up there in Chester and Louisville and all those areas up there of hot football, Great Falls and Whitmire. Travis Jenkins, good evening. Which game were you at tonight, sir?
I was at Louisville, Great Falls.
Terrific. Tell us about it.
A battle of two teams that really genuinely dislike each other, as evidenced by the 10 personal fouls that were called in the first half. At one point, the officials actually paused the game and had the coaches talk to their guys and tell them to knock it off, and they did after that. Louisville wins 52-7. Jumped on Great Falls early, up 25-0 at the end of the first quarter. They got a pick six. They had a sophomore step in at running back. Their normal starter, Mikael Hutchins, is out hurt, but the sophomore named A.J. Price stepped in and ran for 3 touchdowns. Great Falls, under first-year coach Sibel Newton, they're really, really young. They've only got, I think, 4 seniors that start. He's building a good foundation. They played hard. They were just outgunned tonight. But huge win for Louisville because this sets up a region championship matchup next week with Lamar.
Yes, Lamar had a big win tonight.
Probably what everyone – yeah, I was just going to say probably the region championship matchup everybody sort of anticipated when the year started. And that's going to come to fruition in Richburg next week.
Well, we look forward to hearing from you on that next week, I'm sure. Thank you, Travis.
Thanks, Bill.
Have a great weekend. Thank you. Let's go quickly. Want to try and get these last ones in. And Willie from Orangeburg. Okay. Hey, Willie, welcome in.
Hey, what's happening, Phil? What's happening? By the way, you're looking for football to come to Orangeburg. We got homecoming coming tomorrow. We hope that you can come by and grab some good food and enjoy Bulldog football as we take on Delaware State.
Yes, sir.
And speaking of Orangeburg, how about those mighty Bruins of OW? They defeated the Battery Creek Dolphins 46-16, but the night belonged to running back Derek Thomas, who surpassed 1,000-yard mark in the ballgame, ran for a couple of touchdowns. The win gives Orangeburg Wilkinson a 7-2 record. They are now 3-0 in Region 6 Class 3A, which sets up a huge matchup down in the Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, as Orangeburg Wilkinson will take on the Land Sharks of Oceanside Collegiate High School. These two teams are ranked in the top 10 in Class 3A. Going to be a big game, looking for all of Bruin Nation to rock the maroon and orange, and let's go take care of those Land Sharks.
Man, that sounds huge. Please give us a call next week with the recap when it's over.
We got you.
Thank you. Thank you, Willie. And good luck to South Carolina State homecoming. I think it's MEAC opener for them as well. And a nice win by Orangeburg Wilkinson. Okay. We got everybody in, David Shelton. And I know you're gloomy. Let's fight through it. Fight through it, David. They got 6 more games to go. At least we hope. What are you taking away from tonight's high school football action? Or is it still the big story? What's bigger, the Dorman win over Gaffney or what happened with Loris and Marlboro County? Hello, David. Did we lose David's line there? Hello, David.
I think in the.
Are you there?
There
we go. Hey.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying I would say the Loris Marlboro County thing because it was such a big game and it happened late in the day and the reasoning was kind of weird. And the fact that they decided they didn't want to make it up and you got 3 weeks to do it, that was just that whole situation. There'll be some more stuff come out this week, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, did you pick up any other scuttlebutt in the press box up there, down there?
No, nobody where I was at Bishop England knew anything about Loris or Marlboro County. So
nobody. Hey, it's Charleston, man. They don't care about the rest of the world, right?
Yeah. We're in our own world.
So, looking to next week, really excited about that Batesburg-Leesville Saluda game, huh?
Yeah, and I'm probably going to go to that OW Oceanside game. It's funny because Bobby Harton today, when I was on his show, he mentioned he didn't think OW had been any good since Dick Sheridan was And I said, Bobby, Woody Dixon played there. They were pretty good when he was there.
Yes, they were.
I said they've had a couple of tough years, but they've been competitive. But when he brought up Dick Sheridan, I almost fell out of my chair.
That's funny. That's Bobby. Okay, David. Thank you, my man. Have a great weekend.
All right, take care.
Thank you, JP. Thank you, everybody, for calling in. Thank you, players, coaches, officials, and family members for making it happen. Have a great weekend.